are with Marcus Paul and his family. I know that a lot of close connections here, and you know, just I'm not sure exactly what the situation is. Other than it's serious, and we're all thinking about him, and just have a ton of respect for him and all he did for us, and just the relationships that we've maintained. Moving on to Arizona, and this is a very explosive football team that's really Cliff's done a great job with molding the team into the personality and the type of explosive team that he wants, both offensively and in the kicking game, and defensively they do a good job putting pressure on the offense, create negative plays. Very good third down, short yardage defense, and they do a good job of, as I said, just making it difficult on the offense with pressures, safety pressures with Baker, and just causing disruptive plays. Kicking game is be one of the best units we've faced all year. They're excellent coverage team, and have very good returners with Kirk and Edmonds. So they can create big plays with their rushes, with their returns, and their coverage units. They lead the league in kickoff coverage and block punts and have explosive guys back there. So it's really be a big challenge for us in all three areas of the game, and a team we're not very familiar with. So spent a lot of time here the last couple of days as a coaching staff trying to close the gap, and then communicate that and show that to our players here, and so we can get started. Have a good productive day today, and get things underway.
We'll open up with questions. We'll start with Mike Giardi, followed by Dan Roach.
Hey, Bill, I'm curious, what goes into deciding to have a corner travel with receiver, and what has allowed, I guess, on top of that, Steph to be, pretty effective at that over the last few years?
Well, when you set up your defensive game plan, you try to create advantages for yourself, or try to deal with the things that your opponent does, and there are a lot of things to take into consideration. So there are pluses and minuses to matching up. So if we feel like it's advantageous, then we would consider it. If we don't feel like it's advantageous, then we wouldn't do it that week. So so again, there are a number of factors that go into that. But I'd say Steph overall has done a pretty good job covering just about everybody he's covered. So I don't think that's I don't think there are too many situations that would take us out of not wanting to put him on a certain player.
Next question, Dan Roach, followed by Mike Reese.
Morning, Bill. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. You too.
Thank you very much. Just a thought, if Julian was still headed in the right direction, the possibility, or you get a sense that he might start on the clock today.
Yeah, I think Julian's definitely headed in the right direction. I spoke to him, and he's feeling better every day, confident, stronger. So we'll just take it day by day. When he's ready to go, we'll put him out there, but we don't want to rush it, or put him out there and then there's a setback, and then we run out of time. So when he's ready, he'll be back out there. I know he's working very hard. He'll be back out there as soon as he can. We'll just take that day by day, and see when we all feel like that time is right.
Just a thought on the Cardinals and what you've seen from Isaiah Simmons as he's gone about his year here. It seems like he's getting more playing time and playing better as a rookie here lately.
Yeah, they have a good group of linebackers and safeties. Some big fast guys. And that really helps them limit any big plays they get to a lot. Simmons is very fast and athletic, and continues to gain experience and get better every week, like all rookies do, especially with the situations this year. So he's a good player. I'm sure he'll continue to get better, but he certainly adds a lot of speed and length to their defense.
Just a quick note here. The Cliff Kingsbury call is going at the same time. There's some overflow of this going into the Cliff Kingsbury call, so please lower your volume if you're in this one and the Cliff Kingsbury call. Next question will go Mike Reese, followed by Chris Ryan.
Bill, I just wanted to ask you about Larry Fitzgerald, and if you've ever had a chance to spend time with him, and if you have, what have been some of your impressions of just him as a person, and of course, you mentioned as a player, he's on that top 100 team. Be curious for you to elaborate on that if you could.
Yeah, well, I spent quite a bit of time with Larry. Larry's, very dedicated football player. He works extremely hard. He's very knowledgeable in all phases of the game, but particularly passing game and techniques, training, fundamentals. He's I would say to receivers what Peyton Manning, was to quarterbacks in terms of that, type of total obsession of, knowing everything about the position and how to do things and how to convey those to his teammates. So yeah, I mean, he's had tremendous production. I mean, other than, Jerry Rice. And those two guys are really, at the top of the production list in just about every area. His longevity has been remarkable, and again, I think that's a testament to his physical training. But he has great awareness and instincts, as well as all the other things that go with being a receiver. He has tremendous hands, concentration, ability to make clutch plays, and really match up against most every type of defender, finds a way to win with the skills that he has and his style of play. So he's just a tremendous player. He's had a tremendous career. I mean, there's I don't know how you could do much more than what he's done in the amount of time that he's done it, and he's had a tremendous durability and production.
Next question, Chris Ryan, followed by Phil Perry.
Morning, Bill.
Hey, Chris.
Wanted to ask you a little bit about the challenges of utilizing blitz packages against a guy like Kyler Murray or a quarterback in general who has that ability to move, and how does that change what you would necessarily like to do in those instances in creating pressure?
Well, I mean, generally speaking, the more players you rush, the less space he has to escape in. If you rush 4 against 5 linemen, there's really 6 gaps. You're defending with 4 people. If you rush 5, then it's 6 gaps with 5 people. And if you rush 6, then you can theoretically take care of all the gaps. So just depends on what you're trying to do and what type of coverage you want to play behind it and so forth. So there's like I said, plus and minuses to everything, and if the more people you rush, then the harder it should be for them to get out, and the fewer people you rush, then you're probably gonna have to deal with some type of extended play. Not saying you can't do that, you just have to have a coordination on how you're going to handle it.
And finally, process question. You mentioned that if you're less familiar with a team, you spend a little more time as a coaching staff leading into that kind of introductory type of game plan. Is there that much of a difference in the amount of time that you're able to dedicate to the specificity of a game plan against a team that you're not as familiar with?
Well, I think the teams that you're familiar with, you're able to game plan maybe a little bit quicker, and then spend more time specifically looking at examples, things that apply to the game plan. When you don't know a team quite as well, you don't want to put in things and then later on Tuesday evening or Wednesday or Thursday find out it looked okay, looked like a good idea at one point, but now as we dig into it a little bit deeper, this is going to maybe cause more problems than it's going to create, and then you've wasted time and energy on working on something that really wasn't probably a good thing to work on. So I think you want to try to avoid that. I think that sometimes the game planning, decision making may come a little bit later in the process with a team you don't know as well. As I said, to try to prevent making a mistake and doing something that you eventually decide is not really what you want to do.
Thanks, Bill. That'd be thanks.
Next question, Phil Perry, followed by Evan Lazar.
Hey, Bill, with Kyler Murray on the schedule, I know he's on the upper end of the spectrum when it comes to athleticism at that position. But I'm just curious, at quarterback, do you view it as almost a requirement now in 2020 in the NFL for quarterbacks to have a certain level of athleticism? Maybe, I don't know if it's to combat the athleticism that you see from defenses or defensive lines these days. But it just feels like there are so many young athletic quarterbacks in the league now. Is that a requirement in your view, or is it just of the athletes that are playing that position, growing up, I guess, these days?
Well, I think each player has his own individual, unique set of skills, just like we all do. We're all individuals. We're all different. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, but in the end, we try to evaluate, in this case, the players, the quarterbacks, and take a look at the composite and put some kind of value on it. But every guy is different, so I don't think there's any, unless you just want to eliminate certain players, then that's you want to eliminate all players under 6'1", then you're going to eliminate a lot of players. How good are they or aren't they? I mean, I don't know. You want to eliminate all quarterbacks over 6'6". You can eliminate those guys. Is there some good players in that area? Yeah, there probably are. But if you have a certain philosophy that you don't want to deal with a certain type of player for whatever reason, then teams certainly can do that and do that. But I would rather look at the player and try to evaluate his overall value and what he can do, and try to find a way to use the skills that he can do.
I'll apologize in advance to those we don't get to, but we're going to finish with two questions, one from Evan Lazar and Doug Kide.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to ask you about what the Cardinals do with their running game offensively and just what you've seen just both out of the Kyler, kind of design runs, but also just the stuff they do with Edmonds and things like that.
Well, I'd say they have a core group of runs. The zone read's a big play for him, where the quarterback either gives to the back on his own play or keeps it. They also have a variety of scheme plays and other plays that go with that. Maybe not necessarily, some of the plays that go with the zone read, but then there's another, they have another series of plays that are probably game plan specific that they use against certain teams or certain looks that they pick out. And so that's, and the quarterback obviously is a big part of the running game. There are a number of plays that he has the option to run the ball or keep the ball. So it's, 2 plays in one, sometimes 3 in one. So that's really, I think, how it comes together. Edmonds, is basically, I mean, he's going to rotate with Drake. I mean, he's in there, probably a little more in passing situations, but they run no huddle, and sometimes they don't substitute, and so you can't count on that. But whenever he's in there, he's productive, and they find ways to, incorporate him into the game plan with certain plays, specific plays where he's going to get the ball. But they're both very good with the ball in their hands. It's 2 excellent backs that can, do a lot of different things. And, Edmonds returns kickoffs, so those are other potential offensive touches for him. But, yeah, those guys are really good.
And last question, Doug Kide.
Hi, Bill. You guys activated Sony Michel, but then he wasn't actually dressed for the game. You referenced earlier not wanting to run out of time with Julian. Was that did that come down to a similar circumstance of just not wanting to run out of time before you activated Sony Michel?
Yeah, well, we had to activate, Sony, or he would have, his time would have expired there. So with Julian, we haven't started the clock on him yet. But again, it's just not really specific to any player. It's just I would say that generally the way that we feel about the situation is, when you put a player out there, you want to be pretty confident that he's healthy and is going to be able to finish his rehab and practice and prepare and be able to play in the game. So if you put him out there too early and then he's not quite ready yet, or he has a little setback that, maybe takes a week or 10 days to kind of get him back to where he was, then your 3-week window expires, and then, he's not ready, and you have to make a decision as to whether you want to put him on the roster or not. That's not really where the position you want to be in. So sometimes those things happen and they're out of your control. And, you think they're ready, and then something happens, and there's, a delay in the progress. But I think if you're not totally confident that it would almost have to be a new injury to occur, as opposed to a setback on the current one that you're dealing with. That's really where you want to be. You want to be confident that the injury that he's coming out of is, ready for the demands that you're going to put on him.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Again, apologize for the tardiness here this morning. We'll fix that next time.
It's only a 5-yard penalty.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
You got it.
We're changing the way we run with contactless ordering, drive-thrus, curbside pickup, and delivery. So you can still get your favorites, and the only thing you have to touch is your phone. Order on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'.
In New England, we are resilient. It takes hard work to earn respect. Sometimes it takes decades. And it always takes someone being on your side.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 160 years, our team has demonstrated a similar mentality. There are no days off. Our front lines are fortified by people who sacrifice individuality for the team. Our shelves are also stocked with the best quality products and ingredients. Our team members know their roles. We're proud to do our jobs. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the 6-time champion New England Patriots.
My Caleb sofa and love seat. With Bob's discount, you get both pieces for just $7.99.
$7.99? Are you joking?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Yes. You look like you're joking.
I'm serious.
Cool.
Get Bob's discount!
We're changing the way we run with contactless ordering, drive-thrus, curbside pickup, and delivery. So you can still get your favorites, and the only thing you have to touch